Alright, so there's a woman who freaked out in the parking lot. And by her own admission, this man was not doing anything wrong. Oh, you don't approach a woman ever, a single woman in a parking lot. You're not alone, okay? You're in a fucking parking lot in broad daylight. And a man says, "Excuse me, miss," from 30 yards away. Yeah, that don't sound to me like somebody trying to rape you and murder you. If they're gonna do that, they're not gonna try to draw any attention to themselves by yelling from across a parking lot. I was gonna post up a picture of a dead Ukrainian, but unfortunately, unlike this woman, I am actually victimized. Often. God damn. Well, that's something I need to pay attention to. Luckily, I'm fucking immune to that shit. That just shocked the fuck out of me. Oh, goddamn. I'm not immune. It still fucking hurts. You just... And that there is just one reason not to carry a firearm. On the bright side, most firearms have a covered trigger. And that's helpful and useful. Now I'm gonna give you a link to the video with this white girl fucking screaming about a guy saying, "Excuse me, miss." You know, I saw a video once of a lady driving her car. She's got a minivan. She's got her baby on top of her car. And this guy starts running after her vehicle, screaming at her, "Hey, hey, lady, hey, lady." And she stopped. And the way that she stopped resulted in the kid in the stroller sliding off the vehicle. That guy caught the baby. Just the coolest video ever. That's not quite the way it went, but close enough. The thing is, most of the time, that's not how it happens. Most of the time, he's not there to save you. Sometimes this guy's trying to tell you your baby's on top of the minivan, but you're so busy being a paranoid goddamn wreck that you try speeding off, and then what happens? Your baby falls off, gets this baby head crushed, and of course, it's all because you're a fucking nut job. Meanwhile, you want to go teaching people that homeless people are horrible monsters, and you don't stop to recognize the abuse that we go through. And then you drop actual monsters off in our midst. Shit, it's 11:54. I was going to go to Safeway. They're closed. It's 11:54. Now, the Senior Citizen Center has some dancing going on, which is really cool. Pretty decent music, which is pretty cool. I'm going to go to Center Market, and I'm going to get myself something to drink. Non-alcoholic, of course. But we're going to talk a bit about reality. See, the picture on the front of this was going to be a dead Ukrainian. Sorry. A dead Russian. The last video that I posted, the picture for the cover of it is two dead Russians with their faces covered. And in the link description below this video, I'm going to do the same thing that I did in the last video that I made. I'm going to post a link to the videos that I'm talking about. Since I already posted the Val Gear video that has bodies in it, in the link description of this one, and what I'm going to do is post the link to this white girl screaming about a man saying, "Excuse me, miss." You know, there's a lot of women that we get to listen to complaining fucking incessantly that men won't approach them anymore. Why the fuck would we? First of all, most of us are not the guys that you throw yourselves at like $2 whores, okay? That's first of all. Second of all, we see you throwing yourself at dudes like $2 whores. We see the dudes that you throw yourselves at like $2 whores. We recognize that we are not those men. We recognize that you're not fucking interested. When you come to us and you need a rescue, we know that you're not giving us a fucking chance. You need help out of a fucked up situation. Meanwhile, you get treated differently from a man. Because a man in that situation is told you're on your own. Girls in America got more privilege than literally anyone. And now they have the privilege to have court without their victims. That's right, their victims. How many women harm men and then play victim afterwards? I know hundreds. How many do you know? Huh? Women who will mess with a man, throw him away like trash, and that's fine. But then she won't let him leave. Or, of course, if you decide you're going to leave because of some supposed emotional slight, oh, he's emotionally cheating on me because he glanced at a woman for half a second when we went out to eat. How dare he not remember that it's our 3/4 anniversary? Some of the crazy shit that I have heard women start fighting with men over. It's fucking stupid. It's dumb. If men treat you that way, you treat us horribly. You treat us like we're fucking predators if we treat you that way back. I'm going to tell you something. In nearly every male-female relation that I have ever seen where it's been abusive, in nearly every single one of those situations, it was the woman who instigated it and started it. In most of the situations where I give women the benefit of the doubt, the only reason I give them the benefit of the doubt is because I'm a dumbass sexist just like you fuckheads. I'm taught I'm automatically supposed to believe women because they're women. If a woman starts a fight with a man and then plays victim, I'm supposed to feel sorry for her because she's a woman. Alright, well that's not cool, but whatever. But I do my duty. I try to do it properly, though. If she's been victimized, she deserves to be treated like a human being still. But in most of the cases that I've actually been there myself, in most of those situations, it's not the woman who was the victim. With Dallas Richmond and Harley Richmond, Dallas wasn't the fucking predator, Harley was. And her excuse was that I don't know what he was like before. I don't give a shit what he was like before. There is no excuse for you to come over all lovey-dovey. See, that's what she'd do. She'd say, "Oh, Dallas, I have this important thing that I have to do. And I can't take the kids with me. Will you watch the kids while I go and do this special thing that has to be done?" And then she'd just come over and fucking try to impose herself on him. And he'd do his best to try to fucking ignore her when she's trying to put her paws all over him. Like, please, just stop, please. But you know what? He's also trying to not make waves because his kids are there. And so she uses those kids to make sure that he's on his best behavior while she chips away at him with fucking cheap shot after cheap shot. But these are all verbal. They're just mean things meant to hurt him because he won't take her back. And she literally won't take no for an answer. And he owes it to her to give her this chance and that chance because they have kids together. And a lot of you women say, oh, I understand that. They got kids together. He owes it to her to this and that. No, he doesn't. He owes those kids because they're his kids. He doesn't owe that woman shit. After a woman does stuff like that, she doesn't have a right to ask for a goddamn thing from him. She tried to fucking assault him on more, well, alright, it actually was assault. I shouldn't say tried. Because she did repeatedly assault him in front of me. And I asked him, hey man, why didn't you ever turn it in? I told you, if she fucking hits you, I will turn it in with you, dude. Well, for starters, because you can't speak up as a man. You're not a man if you speak up. What? You got beat up by a girl? You had to call the cops because you were beat up by a girl? How pathetic. That's what it's like as a man. Either you got beat up by a girl, or how dare you defend yourself against a woman. If you push her away from you, you're a woman beater for life. You were always labeled a woman beater because some fucking cunt wouldn't stop fucking hitting you. I know men who have needed stitches because of women beating on them, thinking it's okay. Thinking this is an acceptable way to treat a human being because women are allowed to hit a man once for free. Isn't that what you teach them? But some of those women think it resets every 30 seconds or less. And no matter what you tell us, no matter what, it's never okay to hit a woman. So if she's trying to drown your kids in the fucking bathtub, I say it's time to make a fucking exception. If restraining her isn't going to do the fucking job, you better do something. Yeah, if your wife is 3 times your size, yeah, make you a skinny white boy into big fat women. Yeah, I can understand fully why you're not going to try to restrain her. It makes perfect fucking sense. Oh, the cops got somebody pulled over here. However, I'm not turning around here because of that. I'm turning around here because, god damn it. I have to approach that corner market. It's a one-way street. God damn, this thing is sounding rough. And it smells like cotton candy except burnt. Shit, I forgot to plug this in. it's sounding a little 94 Honda Civic, if any of you can recognize what's wrong with it. Oh, that is so cool. I was able to pop 2 of my blisters. They left some kind of weird shapes on my hand, sorta. You can see the round one here. It hasn't popped yet, but the one below it, it's like almost in the shape of a U, or almost a 4. Here's another little bubble. There's a big one on the side of my finger. And then you can see that over my knuckle right there, that's a blister over the crease. There's where it actually burnt through. There's where it actually burnt through. That's just some surface burning. Burnt through. Let's see how much charge I got. 15%. Oh, that's better than nothing. I'll take it. I'm only going in for a minute anyway. Tasty. I just put hot water in. For men and women, chivalry means something different. For a woman, chivalry means coming to her rescue. A good-looking white girl between the ages of 18 and 25. She's going to measure herself based on others, and she's going to try to make herself the prettiest person that she can possibly be. Depending on who she is, correct? The men that she is going to take the shit out on, she's going to get a hold of you, one of the people in the toolbox. This is what you want to call the friend zone. No, you're not fucking friends. If you need a rescue, she's going to give you pretty words. When she has an issue, it's a serious issue and she needs your help. And it has to be right fucking now. But if you're harmed, especially over her bullshit, how dare you say anything? How dare you come to her for help, stopping what she fucking started? When you leave him, stay gone. When you go back to him and he starts abusing me, I don't want nothing to do with you. How many of y'all guys out there know this story? She goes back to a beating over and over and over again, same dude. She comes to you and probably the same 5 other guys for help. And slowly you realize that every time that she needs a rescue, there's a couple suitors short. Well, that's where people like me really throw everybody for a loop. I'm not a suitor. I'm not interested in your vagina in the least bit. There's a guy in the vehicle next to me, staring hard. Maybe I look familiar. Maybe my car's just that ugly. For a man, chivalry means looking out for you and keeping you safe. For a man, it's, excuse me, ma'am, you dropped your keys. Excuse me, ma'am, you dropped your purse. Excuse me, ma'am, your baby's still on top of the car. Now, when you got a stupid white girl, like the lady in the video that I'm about to put in the description of this one, holy shit. You get to see the problem when I'm actually being harmed and I'm screaming because I am being harmed. Nobody gives 2 shits. There's a lot of people who have tried to pretend I'm racist because I don't like BLM. Well, I don't like BLM because it's a racist fucking hate group. But you also get to hear when people say that goddamn N-word around me, what do I say? Well, I don't like that word. Cup of noodles is the spice of life. Now, if only I could get it to stay on the goddamn coffee stirrers, that would be easier if I could maintain holding it with my right hand. Holding stuff sucks. My hand just wants to let go of pretty much everything. And if I don't fight the reflex to let go of literally everything, I'll let go of literally everything. That white girl, if she called the cops, that man might be going to prison. There was a man in Florida, and I watched the video. The man goes to the gym to work out. He asked the woman a question. He approached her submissively, hands up in a subservient situation, at an appropriate distance. And she hauled off and fucking started assaulting him. The only time he ever stepped in on her was when she went to reach for a weapon. She didn't need to fucking assault him. And she just kept assaulting him. Guess how many times he punched her the whole thing? Never. He never hit her the whole goddamn thing. Guess which one got arrested? Wasn't her. Anybody would have to be out of their goddamn mind to believe that he was trying to harm her. Because if he wanted to, he could have. Yeah, he was smaller than her. He's also a dude. If he wanted to hit her, he could. He didn't even try. He didn't try to hit her, didn't try to kick her. Men aren't the scary ones. The majority of the drama that I've seen between men has been started by women who are playing head games. The majority of it. Yeah. We've taught women that all they have to do to remove all accountability is cry wolf. And as males, we're expected to go along with this. You guys in the toolbox. Sorry, the friend zone. You really think she's your fucking friend, dude? You try having a panic attack. She gonna come to your fucking rescue? She gonna be your Prince fucking Charming? No. She's gonna throw you away like you're trash. Or tell you she's fucking sorry. God bless America, right? There's people typing hi. Hello. Now these women who are complaining that men won't approach them. Well, fuck you. What did you do when these white girls want to yell at people because they're entitled, and how dare a man ever approach them or speak to them? How fucking dare they? Well, goddamn it, don't talk to us either. Don't go to the fucking supermarket. There are men there. Fucking stupid. And there was another woman complaining that a man approached her selling candy bars. How many of y'all have been to them grocery stores where there's a guy in the parking lot and he's selling the candy bars? What are those cancer candy bars for? Yeah, the last guy I bought some from was in Hood River. No, it wasn't Hood River. It was, fuck, it might have been all the way back in goddamn Montana. And you guys have all seen them. You can even look it up, the charitable chocolate boxes. They'll take their chocolates and put whatever name on it you want. But the thing is, I've canvassed before, and a lot of those canvassers sell candy bars too. And it's a legit job too. No joke. Here's how it works. You get this charitable cancer research place. And these candy bars, a certain amount of it goes to the company that makes and sells the candy bars, and a certain amount of it goes to the research place, and a certain amount of it goes to you for selling it. Now, you do have some leeway. If you don't want to make anything for yourself, you can sell a candy bar for $2 instead of $3, whatever you're selling them for. By the way, it's not usually $2 or $3, but they'll accept any donation that you'll give on top of that. By the way, these guys, a lot of times, they spend their days getting yelled at, screamed at, and getting shit thrown at them. So, I mean, you know, you talk about Ronald McDonald House and all these fucking cancer research places and donate to them, donate to them, donate to them. And you tell these homeless people, hey man, why don't you do something productive? Why don't you get a fucking job? You know, there's jobs where all you have to do is knock door to door and beg people for money. You can literally do that, begging people for money for a cancer research place. Why don't you try doing that? Why don't you try improving the world a little bit? And you go and get one of those jobs. And they tell you, hey, if you don't make your quota to allow you $7.50 an hour, then we'll pay you the difference at a $3.25. It's weird how they do it. It's kind of like having a waitressing job. Now, I've done the candy selling myself. I tried it for one day. I didn't understand how it all worked. What I did know is that I kept getting yelled at and screamed at and hooted at and hollered at. And of course, treated like I'm some filthy hobo out there trying to sell pilfered candy bars so I could go smoke crack in the alley. You know who's really in the alley? You know that cheerleader you had a crush on back in high school? Yeah, she got 4 kids in a meth habit now. That's who you're going to find behind the 7-Eleven. That's who you're going to find in the alleyway. And yeah, you're going to feel bad for them, but you also got to understand that that girl you had a crush on in high school, Was a manipulator back then, and same as now, only now she's got a lot of years of experience, and she's got an addiction to feed. If she got that addiction and her kids, you can be fucking rest assured that there's been hell to pay for some man out there somewhere. Some of the people that I know that are dead, they're dead because they got drunk and mean, and they deserved it. I don't mean that they deserved to be killed. What I mean is that the person that they were trying to hurt or were trying to kill because they were drunk deserved to live. And thank goodness they got the opportunity to. But some of these people, the majority of these people, were killed over drugs, alcohol, and women. In the majority of these situations, there were no guns involved. When my friend Spencer killed my friend Angus, oh, I'm not going inside. I'm gonna wait till I'm done farting to do that. They're nice to me in there, you know? And I didn't know Angus very well. I knew Spencer Crawford pretty good. He was one of them youngins I was always trying to run off, and he'd always laugh it off. Like, yeah, dude, I get it, but I'm still not leaving. I get it, it makes it bad for you guys, but you gotta understand this is Boulder. Drugs are pretty much free, pretty much everywhere, so for someone like me. So yeah, he ate it up. He messed with the Molly, and it was being ninja dosed that ended up with him having he had a panic attack while tripping balls, and he stabbed his best friend in the heart. Said he saw the evil in him because he was tripping balls. I've seen Mobley do something similar, but he didn't have a knife in his hand at the time. There was a girl named Brianna Hernandez Cordona, and she was fucking stalking me because she thought she was in love with me. And yeah, I was a lot younger and a lot better looking back then. But I was never good looking. I just want you to know that. Little girls who had crushes on me had crushes on me because I was nice. And I wasn't nice to them. I don't being mean to any of those girls or those boys. They didn't need to be down there messing with that shit. Regardless of whatever Angus wanted to believe. He'd tell me, yeah, I understand, but he had no respect because he didn't understand. He wasn't the recipient of it. And he didn't learn the lessons from the people who had already lived through it. As a result, his best friend became a casualty of war. War against stupidity. Don't. Ah, goddamn. Sorry about the disconnect issue. Anyway, I hope that the video is still able to copy and paste even though my phone died. I'll put it in the link description. That's really the reality of living in America. Because of the low memory on my phone, it won't actually allow me to change the profile picture after I've started the video. I was going to attach a video of a dead Russian soldier on the front of this. Followed by that crusty white girl bitching about stupid shit. You know what? Most men don't fucking approach you because they don't want to get fucking screamed at like they're fucking rapists. Most men are not gonna fucking rape you. A woman is more likely to victimize you than a man because a woman feels entitled to do so. Just like we teach black people. And black people teach their kids to be afraid of white people. We don't give enough recognition to the white people who are sticking up for y'all black folk. We don't get enough recognition to the tools in your fucking toolbox that you pretend are your friends. Dear women, my name is Sean. I'm not a rapist. I'm not a child molester. I'm not a woman beater. I'm not a child beater. I'm not any of the monstrosities that you force onto all men. Let's say 1% of men are rapists. Let's pretend it's that many. How close is that to being all men? Nowhere near. When you men aren't doing enough, are you serious? How many men do you have in your fucking toolbox that come running every time you whine? Are you fucking kidding me? Men don't do enough for you. No, 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 no. The men who bow down to your every will and command are the ones that you put into your toolbox. We're not interested in harming you. Most of us are already aware of our station in life. We have seen the men that you throw yourselves at like $2 hookers, and we are not it. We're the guys that you go to when you've been treated like a $2 hooker by the man that you threw yourself at like a $2 hooker. And why the hell are those cops creeping by all super slow? That always bugs me. Oh, it froze up on me again. Well, no wonder. I got about 40 notifications all at once. Ah, hell. Goddamn phone froze up on me again. There it goes. If a pretty woman pretends like you might do something to her, that's all it takes to end your life. And there are things that are worse than death. There are people who are nice to me, but they don't care if I'm harmed. They're not going to do anything to stop it. They're not going to recognize that when I say that it is frequent and ongoing abuse, that means it is literally frequent and ongoing. No matter how much I record, the fact is people bullshit me about who it needs to be turned into. It's a big fucking game. And it's disgusting. When a woman doesn't get what she wants right when she wants it, you have to be far more afraid than if it were a man. Most of the women I know will agree that men take the word no a lot better than women do. Most of the women I know agree with each other on the fact that women are more competitive than men in most situations. But how many women are going to admit that the reason they put on that makeup is because they're in competition with other women? It's not because men make them do it. We don't hold a gun to a woman's head. And when she says, oh, well, I have to do that so that they'll pay attention to me. Really? Does your sense of humor not exist? Do you have nothing more to offer than painted looks? At the end of the day, nearly every man I know would rather hang out with a sassy fat chick who's fun to be around than some white girl who's gonna whine and bitch and moan and complain no matter what. She wants Skechers. She'll bitch until you get her the Skechers, but then she doesn't want Skechers. She wants Coach. You get her Coach. That's not good enough. She wanted Louis Vuitton. Oh, fucking Christ. I don't know how many married women I know. Sure, they were fun to be around until they were fucking married. And then they go fucking around on their husbands. One woman come up to me and she was bragging to me. Why the fuck do you tell me this shit? That's the most fucked up part. You always tell the wallflowers. Woman tells me she went out with all of her lady friends and they went to a male strip club and they all took turns sucking on this dude's wang. Like, come on. Like, why are you telling me this? You know, in a female strip club, man ain't allowed to touch a woman in any such way like that. He's not allowed to stick his face in your butt. But you as a woman are allowed to back your butt into his face. There's a woman I know named Amanda Engeline, and she was a stripper. She liked to share lots of information about the trade to me. And, you know, I didn't need to know all that. It wasn't my business or an interest of mine in the least bit. I've been to a strip club once in my life, and that was at Jamie Curtis's request. Well, insistence, rather. And I sat with my back to the stage because I didn't want to see Amanda naked. No offense. She was a friend. I wasn't there for her nudity. I was there because her and Jamie were friends, and Jamie insisted, and Amanda insisted, so I went. Now, does that make me a pervert? Does that make me nasty? Does that make me an evil person out to destroy everyone's life? No, it doesn't. I know a lot of women who have done horrible things to men and have absolutely no remorse whatsoever about it. It sucks when it happens to you. But the other thing is, it ain't like you didn't see it coming. It ain't like you didn't see her doing it to other dudes and you wanted to tell yourself you're different. You wanted to believe her when she said that you're different from the other guys. No, the fuck you're not. You're a suitor. I'm different from the other guys because I care more about her kids than her vagina. Not sure if you noticed, but whining and dining in order to get laid is not time effective. It's not cost effective. And that's how I think. It's gross to me. But I don't go running around telling y'all you can't have sex. Now, do I? I don't tell you, hey, it's gross that you want to stick your snotty spot in somebody else's snotty spot. And every orifice on your body produces snot, or mucus, I should say. Man, that officer, that's the second time he coming around the block. I'd like to be left alone by those guys. It is never appropriate for any officer in this county to approach me anymore. It's not appropriate for them to run around saying the things that they've said just because I'm telling on them. I have to tell on them in public. Now, at least the couple of the officers that did messed up shit are gone. Ray Rao, well, he's not currently acting as police chief, is he? Why is that? Stealing from the evidence locker. A lot of them drugs never made it to the evidence locker. Gary was talking yesterday about officers taking people's drugs and money and putting it in the trunk of their vehicle and arresting these guys and then coming around next payday and doing it all over again. Damn. Where are these guys getting the drugs? From the cops? Like, yeah, what kind of a fucking idiot do you have to be to get your drugs from the cops? Then you get busted by the other cops. And then you do it again a month later. Like, holy shit. Apparently one dude was released like 3 times in a row. They kept on arresting him, and then they'd take all of his stuff, and then they dropped the charges, and he never got any of his stuff back because it never even went to the evidence locker. Went right into their pockets and right out here to some of the hobos on the streets. Some of those hobos had a good thing going with the officers until Hoffman tried to have sex with some of them. Some of the women out here, these officers have offered to charge them as criminals if they don't do what these officers want. And then, of course, we as men have to worry about police officers doing this to us as well. But from us, they want something different than sex. They want somebody they can bully and get away with. They have to worry that you, a woman, might tell on them. But if they bully you into consent, then magically it's okay. For some reason. Well, I disagree. The most at-risk people in this country are the homeless, the disabled, and men. Guess what? I'm a homeless, disabled man. And what is it that puts us so much at risk? It's the way that people treat us when we're abused, how they blow us off and brush us off. I used to hand out pamphlets, believe it or not. That was one of the highest paying jobs that I had at a labor ready, too. I got to do that at a labor ready. I also got to do it down in Denver for a little bit. Basically, people, until they're in a fucked up situation, they don't actually know or understand right from wrong. A lot of people don't understand how wrong a thing they're doing until it happens to them. And that's what's so sad right here, is that nobody should have to treat people badly in order to get heard. If people are treating you badly and you treat them that way back, you're not a bad guy for treating them that way back. You're somebody doing something desperate, and that sucks. It sucks that people are forced to desperation. Because some white girl doesn't like the Louis Vuitton bag, doesn't want the candy bar that man is selling, doesn't care what a man says to her. How dare he approach her in broad daylight in public from 30 feet away? Holy shit. Announcing himself in public. See, y'all want to kill chivalry. Then you get angry at us when we say that, yeah, you killed chivalry. Men didn't kill it. You did, by taking advantage of all chivalrous men. Just so you know, chivalry isn't giving a woman everything she wants right when she fucking wants it. You took that shit straight out of Disney, and it's bullshit. In reality, it wasn't until the turn of the last century that women didn't have to work the fields with their husbands. A woman didn't stay at home and rear the children. She manned the plow with a baby strapped to her chest or strapped to her back. And guess what? The man might be doing the same goddamn thing too. Your children were learning to work the land from the moment they started able to be aware of their surroundings. If you're out plowing the fields, your kids are going to learn agriculture from the day they're born. If they're born a man, there's certain things that they're going to be taught. And this modern idea of chivalry is completely different from what chivalry actually is. Chivalry is a set of rules for battle, where the common man on a battlefield, he either did what the king said or he would be killed by his own king. Chivalry was this thing that allowed kings and knights and earls and people of that nature for them to actually yield on the battlefield and be traded back to their country. Because they're more important than the poor dumb bastards that they force at the end of a sword under pain of death to murder for them. And that's what it comes down to. Butchery of other men. And how many wars in history have been fought over women? It's primarily over power and territory. But breeding rights are an important part of that, aren't they? A lot of women I know tell me that they like being sought after. They like being drooled over. They just don't like it when an ugly man's doing it. How dare he? But one thing, a lot of the women that I know that wear the pleated plaid miniskirt with the white button-up shirt, except it's not buttoned up, is it? No, it's tied in a knot with a red brassiere underneath. And she gonna go to the bar looking like that? Looking like a Catholic schoolgirl hooker. You know what that's selling? Underage meat. And that's a big goddamn problem. And that same woman, 23 years of age, trying to advertise like she's between the ages of 14 and 18, possibly 18. But you know she was let into the bar, so she's at least 21 or older. Literally, the only kind of guy that she's going to attract in that bar are men who are into little girls. Little girls. Not women, but little girls. And why is that? It's because she is presenting the image of being a little girl. And mentally, obviously, she still is. Or she wouldn't be going to the bar trolling for child molesters. That shit's only hot until you're an adult, and then it's gross. When you're 14 years old and you got a 14-year-old girl that you got a crush on, that's fine. When you got a 30-year-old man who's got a crush on a 14-year-old girl, that's fucking disgusting. When you got a 23-year-old woman trying to present the image of a 14-year-old girl, oh my God, that's sick. But on the bright side, Louis Vuitton, new iPhone. At least she's not dying. At least she's not lying dead in a ditch outside of Kiev with her eyes grayed over. Or chunks of plastic from their exploded vehicle covering their faces. When they pull them out of their vehicles, everything in there is broken. They basically just pull them out as a pile. Chunks of bodies along with books, technical manuals, MREs, rations, med kits, med packs, explosive charges, satchel charges, grenades, ordnance. Basically just slides out as one big sloppy fucking mess. But whatever, you fucking looked at her from the other side of the parking lot. You must be rapey, and how dare you? She's gonna get on the internet and talk about what a horrible person you are. Now my question is, how stupid would she feel if during that video, while she was making it, she decided to back out and her kid fell off and she got to see that baby fall off the front of her vehicle? It'd be poetic justice, wouldn't it? No, it wouldn't. Because that kid don't deserve that. Of course, if it was something as important as all that, he'd have been cursing, but he'd have been telling her, there's a kid on top of your fucking car, you fucking moron. But you've already decided you don't want to hear it. He's a creep. He's out to hurt you. How dare he approach you? No, fuck you. You're taking your insecurities and your fucking paranoia out on the wrong people. Just like BLM is. Just like the KKK is. Men aren't the real monsters. You are. For playing victim and crying wolf.